I getting a lot of messages from people who are concerned, as I am. But I was craving a big.
Well guys, it has officially happened. Nikocado Avocado has eaten himself into a disability. Now I don't really know if he's lying or not, I wouldn't put it past him, but according to his last few videos, his ribs have apparently cracked just from being under the weight of his own body. He's developed sleep apnea, he has to have a breather on throughout the day, he has to have a nurse in-house to help him live and make it throughout the house. His body is literally starting to shut down. It has tapped out. Now look, I know I've dogged on Nikocado a lot on this channel, but I don't want to see this guy die. And it seems like if he doesn't change something very quickly, that's what might happen. But honestly, at this point, I can't really feel bad for the guy anymore. He's got to have known that this day was coming if he didn't make a change, and now he's having to face the reality of it. And just to show that he really doesn't care and that I honestly think he's willing to die for YouTube, we're gonna be watching a few of his videos today. And maybe someone at YouTube, possibly the one who decided to strike my video about the devious lick trend, will take action and strike Nikocado's channel for self-harm, because that's what these videos are at this point. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
Oh yeah, I can't really tell. Ouch. Ooh. It hurts when I press, it hurts when I twist my body. It hurts when I sit down or stand up.
Okay, so we have Nikocado here going to the doctor, wearing a shirt that says my weight is a medical mystery, proving that this is just one big joke to him and that the only reason he's going to the doctor is to get some content. I mean, if this was really a serious moment for him, first, I don't think they'd be recording, and if they did decide to record, I don't think there'd be 2 or 3 cameo plugs, 4 or 5 Patreon mentions. I mean, this is really just content to him. He does not see this as a life-threatening thing, he sees it as views.
Ow. Ow. And I'm afraid of sitting down because I'll get swamp butt. I keep having sweat come out the crack and I sit on these fake leather things, and then when I stand up there's like a line of water. It looks like I, wet myself, but no, it's just sweat. I have swamp butt condition.
Alright, so I'm not even going to comment on the swamp butt comment. I think I've dealt with that enough on this channel, but this is kind of why I think he might be faking part of this. Breaking your ribs is not exactly comfortable, and most people can't even walk. I mean, he seems to be moving quite normally to have 3 cracked ribs.
Ow! So I just saw a lady who said I have to come into this room. I've been in like 4 rooms already. This is my first time in the emergency room in a very long time. And then she asked me my height and weight. I was like, 5'11" and a half. And she said, your weight? I'm like, I really don't know. Probably 350. I told her. I said my scale lies to me often.
Can you imagine dedicating like 15 years of your life to become a doctor? You're working in the emergency room, trying to save people, trying to make sure people are healthy, and then one of your patients tells you with a straight face that their scale has been lying to them? I would quit on the spot.
Oh, I don't really know. I really don't know. Probably 3 something by accident. So I told her, and she luckily didn't even bother weighing me, but then she wanted to do my blood pressure. I said, I'll pass out. I have a phobia. She's like, you'll pass out from your blood pressure? I'm like, yes, it's very serious. And she says, well, how do you normally get it done with your doctor? I'm like, I haven't seen a doctor for many years. And she goes, oh. And I felt slightly discriminated. Actually.
That doesn't even make sense. How could that possibly be interpreted as discriminatory? I mean, seriously, like I said, this is just all jokes.
I'm here. I am here. I am alive. I am here. Getting a lot of messages from people, who are concerned, as I am.
Alright, it seems like he's finally showing concern. That must be good, right? Let me fast forward a few minutes.
But I was craving a big, big man. Big man. And so that's one side effect of the steroids. The doctor said that you're gonna be extra hungry and you might have trouble sleeping, which is not very good. And I know if I eat more, I sleep better, so.
Alright, so let me just get this straight. You are eating to counteract the side effects of the steroids you're having to take because you eat too much, and you're also eating more to counteract the sleep apnea that you have from eating too much. You know, something tells me that this is a cyclical problem.
Ouch.
So just like a usual Nikocado video, it takes him about 30 minutes to get to the actual point of the title, and everything in this 30 minutes is literally just him eating pizza and saying ow occasionally, so don't worry, you're not missing anything.
If I wasn't under all these pain meds, I wouldn't even be eating. This would be like the biggest weight loss journey of my life. It's gonna take months to fully heal. Months. This is why I'm devastated about my career. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Okay, so I'm not trying to be insensitive here. Obviously, if he really did crack his ribs, he's definitely in a lot of pain. But it seems like you are maintaining your career quite fine. You are still eating an ungodly amount of food for the camera and talking for an hour. It doesn't seem like anything's at stake here. Well, except your life, but that's not what you're talking about, I don't think.
Okay, here's my trachea, which I need any of you guys to please help me in the comments. He did not bring up my trachea to me when we were going over everything. He did not bring up my trachea. He said he did mention the heart, which is not inflamed. He said the lungs look fine, but the ouch. Please look. Excuse me. Please look at that trachea. It's like curving. This thing.
Alright, so I did a little bit of research for our friend Nikocado here, and I believe what he is experiencing is trachea deviation, which can lead to a lung collapsing, uncontrollable fits of coughing, shortness of breath, all things that Nikocado seems to be experiencing, which is another reason I'm starting to think this is somewhat faked, because I can't imagine a doctor would completely ignore that knowing what that can cause. That just doesn't make sense to me, but I guess I'm not a doctor.
The worst part is that you just have to suck it up. There's no treatment.
Alright, so once again, like I stated earlier, I'm no doctor, but I have to imagine that not eating 45,000 calories a day would indirectly help your ribs heal. A little less weight to reduce the pressure would definitely help.
People are like, you're so unhealthy. No, I'm not. This is protein.
Alright, so this video is where he really starts to take it up a notch. He begins to call himself disabled, which I mean, broken ribs is not a disability that will heal. I'm pretty sure disability refers to something permanent, but you know, Nikocado doesn't care about that. He just wants people to click on it, and the word disabled is probably the most enticing to him, so he's gonna use it.
I identify as skinny. And I identify as disabled.
So as you can see, after the 2 or 3 videos where he was trying to be serious and dramatic, that has already worn off. So now he's got to go back to his old over-the-top character that everybody seems to love. I mean, seriously, how is anybody buying this? This is at least somewhat an act.
If you have a problem with my identity, you can scooch your booty off this page, Ashley. I'm over here trying to recover from 3 broken ribs. 3!
Yeah, 3 broken ribs that it seems like you've forgotten you're supposed to be acting like you have. It's weird how in the span of 1 day you went from going ow every time you moved your arm to pick up a piece of pizza to now flailing your arm and body around and not making a peep. Fast recovery, huh?
And all you can care is, oh, this is just so bad. You need to be concerned about your weight. This has nothing to do with my weight. at all.
Yeah, Nikocado, I believe you, because I don't think there's anything wrong with you. You just ripped that mask off your face and now you're pointing to the air, shaking your fist to the sky. You don't have broken ribs. You've forgotten the act you're supposed to be playing here.
Have you ever broken a ribs? I'm lucky that my ribs broke this way from my lungs pushing out rather than the other way, which could have pierced my lung and made me dead. You sick bitch. And thank you to all my new members on my Patreon, my secret page. I did a house tour naked. That's right, we took all the off. And I decided to show people this ribs.
My god, what an annoying act. I mean, can you just blatantly lie to your audience non-stop and just get away with it? You have broken ribs and you can barely waddle to the bathroom, but you could do a naked house tour? I mean, come on, how is anybody buying this? Okay, so I'm not even gonna bother going through the mukbang because honestly, I'm just kind of tired of the act. I mean, this guy has been dealt some pretty nice cards in the last few years. All he's got to do is eat on camera once a day and he makes $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a month. So I'm kind of tired of hearing all the complaining. If he wants to eat himself a mobile into where his body just shuts down, I mean, that's his choice. But the sad thing is that I know the guy is smart. I mean, he's a very intelligent person. I've seen too many of his videos to think otherwise. When he's not putting on an act, he's a completely different person. And just think about what made him famous. It was all of his vegan videos and his healthy persona. It's not like these crazy mukbangs are what made him famous. This is just what he chose to do with his fame. And you know, maybe he really doesn't want to change. Maybe he is honestly okay with living like this. And if that's the case, well then, okay. But he said he wants to change and try to get healthier in the past. I think he's just afraid his audience will go away. If he went back to vegan stuff and made like a transformation series, I'm sure his audience would double. His audience is wavering not because the mukbangs aren't crazy enough. It's because he doesn't make the videos that most of his audience was built on anymore. But I think that's enough ranting about Nikocado for the day. The man's gonna do what he wants to do, so, you know. At the end of the day, it's not gonna really make a difference what I think. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.
Subscribe.